All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing, everyone? It's Tuesday, June 10th. We're taking a look at NQ. Yesterday closed as basically another inside day. We've got two consecutive inside day sessions on our hands here ahead of tomorrow's CPI. So, an inside day, just as a reminder, it's when price trades entirely within the prior day's range. We did technically have a little blip outside of Friday's range during yesterday's session, but no acceptance there. I'm just gonna continue to call that another inside day, back to back inside days, and CPI tomorrow. So what is the likelihood that we actually see some sort of decent market move today? In my opinion, is pretty low likelihood. I'm expecting a choppier, more range bound session again. And as always, with any market expectations, we'll let price action prove us incorrect. So we're not going to be married to the idea. We'll just simply come in with lighter expectations on the day, and then if price and volume show something else, then we'll listen to what the market says. Pretty simple. As of right now, NQ trading about 21,850. So we did have some decent overnight volatility. Here's the overnight session. You can see the push up into almost the 22K level of interest, and then just a pretty sharp move lower back into Monday's low. And now look, we're right back here at 850. Like it never even happened, right? So a lot of short-term variance here, but not much higher time frame variance, meaning price continues to trade within a fairly defined range, as we can see on this 2-hour chart. Now, within the range, what we notice is that there is a bit of a trend higher here, right? And then the past few days, we do see that price is kind of consolidating near the near term range high, which is a bit of a different characteristic than what we saw previously in this range. And it's different than what we saw over here. So the previous tests of supply were being quickly sold off. And we're not seeing that recently. We're not seeing that. So it's a little bit of a change in how the market is acting. One thing that I've noticed here that is in alignment with the higher time frame bullish neutral backdrop. So not all that surprising, right? For this morning, I want to see how price is going to be responding to the 21,850 level of interest. As always, we want to focus on one primary level of interest, kind of set the stage for the trading day. Now, if buyers can continue to show some acceptance above that level, be looking for last week's high, and then potentially up into that overnight high in 22K area. Before any of that, though, we're going to need to see price leave the prior day's range. So I'll be paying close attention to the prior day high as well as the prior day low. Again, as of right now, just right here at 850. 850. So that's pretty much the main watch for this morning. As always, with any trading day, we're just looking for that easiest money opportunity. We don't want to force anything. We're just looking for those A plus trades. If you don't know what your A plus trade looks like, you need to spend some time actually defining that and figuring that out. And then grading yourself at the end of the day based on whether or not you actually adhered to that framework, whether or not you actually followed your game plan, whether or not you actually stuck to the A plus opportunities. So that is the game plan for today. That is the goal for today. We got about 6 minutes until the open. Session volume point of control is down here at 834. Prior day volume point of control at 852. VWAP, probably insignificant this morning, but right now trading near 850. We've had back to back pretty choppy and range bound sessions. Hopefully, everyone is staying alive in the chop, not overdoing it. Not getting beat up. I know though. I know those choppier conditions can be just account burning. I've been there before. That's why we try so hard to avoid that choppiness. Four minutes till the open. All right, about 2 minutes till the open. NQ right here. Session volume point of control 834. See, where's ES? ES bumping into the 60-20 level of interest and rejecting. Twenty-one 850. Main focus. With a particular attention to the prior day's range as well. All right, here's the open, 30 seconds. There's your open, NQ right into 850. So a very slight gap higher, obviously still within the prior day's range. There's session volume point of control. NQ getting into session low. There's your new low of day. Note the volume. Note that below average volume already. Let's see, do we have some economic data this morning? No, we do not. No data this morning. NQ new low of day. Coming into the prior day close. Very slight gap higher. Staying patient, staying patient, staying patient. Patience pays. Getting back into that 850 VWAP area here on NASDAQ. Pretty tight range to start the morning. Volume non-existent. What is price action telling you? What is it saying? NQ getting into the highs. Session high is 6.5, 6.6. There's your new high of day. Now it's waking up. Now we're waking up. Let's see, prior day high 890. Looking at the reaction into prior day high here, 890. See if buyers can trigger that inside day break. Getting close. Got ES making new highs on the day. A little rejection there at prior day high. Note the volume. Again, volume of concern. Summer doldrums right here ahead of CPI. Tomorrow's CPI. NASDAQ back in at 850. So rejection there at the prior day high. Down through 850, getting into session volume point of control here. And almost into session lows. So even with the low volume, we've got technical trading, as always. What's our range this morning? 70 points. 70 yoints. So it's bouncing between prior day value area. This is your 5-minute RTH chart for NASDAQ. 15 minutes into the sesh, pretty uneventful morning so far. Well within expectations, though. $8.50 holding decently well. A decent hold there. Any takers on that one? Mish, you in that? What are you talking about? Trim, trim, trim. Des, let's go, man. What makes you think I placed a trade yet, Mish? What makes you think I've done anything? The smell. Oh man. What's it smell like? Is it good? Smells green? Des says get out and push. Get out there and push. Get out there and push. God, this volume is terrible. Jeepers. Jeepers. There you go, Des. NQ into session highs. See, can we get the new high of day? Mish, can you take some fresh longs up here? Need that new high of day. There it is. There's your new high. Getting into prior day high. Took my contracts and flipped them. I don't know about all that, man. I don't know about all that. Let's see. There it is. I made a mistake moving my stop. That's that small little blip. That's gonna mess up my stats. I was kind of pissed about that. Keep the trail at 73 right here. There it is. Back to cash. All right, Benny, take care, man. There's your sweep of the prior day high, seller step in. Look at the volume on that as well. So I trailed. The idea behind those two trades you can see on my execution screen there. Little micro setup right there near the 850. Initially right through here. Can you see my cursor? No. Let's get a little right through there. Micro time frame long right there. We wrote it. You can see that one right there. I was looking for break of the prior day high. And then second entry right through here. Somewhere through there. Let's see. Yeah. A little higher low right there. That aligns with the level of interest and VWAP. Also have the confluence of price bouncing from session volume point of control. We're looking for session high on that one. That one technically does fit within the 2-hour trader framework. So that's a THT trade as well. THT enhanced. because you got the level of interest. That's THT Pro Max right there. Pro Max Plus. For using Apple nomenclature. See what else we get here. Yeah, this price action's not great. Not great, I would say. Three minutes till 10 a.m. No data. Price is still within the prior day's range. We have CPI tomorrow. Low volume. I mean, there are a lot of reasons to be doing less. So at this point, I like to wait till post 10 a.m. NQ sitting right on 850. No reposition for me here personally. Letting that one go for now. Could definitely work, but I like to be in the habit of cash through 10 a.m. Volume just falls right off again. All right, there's 10 a.m. You got Russell. Nice push on Russell coming into overnight high. Nice higher low there in Russell at the prior day high. Also held VWAP quite nicely. ES just sitting on 60-20 level of interest. NQ 850 stays on watch here. 850 level of interest. Session volume point of control just shifted 854. Decent little push there. Protect your downside if you're long. Like I said, no position. Nice setup on the 1 minute though. Choppy, choppy. Making the most of the chop though. 2 for 2. Both longs at 21,850. Yeah, the reject of the prior day high also with the sweep there. That was a nice setup. Personally, I don't short, so would never take it, but still a valid setup, if we invert the chart a little, boom. You gonna grab that long? That's the Mish specialty right there. Intraday spring with prior day spring. Spring squared right there. Springception. Spring squared. So this most recent bounce from 850 did not make a fresh high. Noteworthy. Like the up thrust, but action was a bit aggressive. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's a counter to the current backdrop, so have to be real cautious with those. Probably easier just to avoid. Snoozer of a morning. Not going to grab any fresh exposure here at 850 until we see either a new high of day or a new low. Got my two trades out. Two longs at the 850. Now is a test of patience. If you struggle to stay patient as a trader, one of the best things you can do is literally just set alerts in the platform, set alerts in TradingView or whatever other platform you like, and simply do something else. Focus on something else. Absolute easiest way to develop your patience. Do something else. Trust that the alert will bring you back. And when it goes off, come back and check. If your setup is there, take the trade. If not, set the alert again. Get back to whatever else you were doing. That's why when it's a very interesting paradox when people are trading alongside a 9 to 5, they tend to do better than when they initially quit their 9 to 5 and trade full times, because you actually have too much time on your hands. Think that all that time is going to help you capture more setups, but actually has the opposite effect. Has the exact opposite effect. Less is more. Yeah, you can start to force setups. Absolutely. Start to force something that's not there. Just from being bored or from wanting to put some points, wanting to put something on the day. That's why when prop firms have like an active trading day requirement for a payout, that can be real bad on the site, because you're thinking when the action's like this, super choppy, like, oh, I need to put some points on the board so I can get my payout. Next thing you know, you're in the hole. Yep. Know that one. So 850 continuing to hold quite nicely. Like I said, no additional exposure here. We got the two longs. All right, NQ making a bit of a push here. We got an uptick in volume. See how the highs are going to be treated. RTY just on its own. Up and through overnight high. Look at this 5-minute on NASDAQ. Barcode. Absolute barcode. All right, about 45 minutes into the sesh. How we doing? How we doing? I'll throw a poll in the chat. Let me know. Albert, 1 for 1. Nice work, man. Well done. Get Russell. RTY, beautiful push. It's actually some pretty good action there. ES, we have some decent setups here. VWAP in the 60-20 level of interest. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. This might be an early one, honestly. I'll give it 15 more minutes here. But like I said before the bell, expectations quite light for today. CPI is tomorrow, plus we have back-to-back inside days. And early action is just, I mean, it looks exactly like a barcode. What am I going to do with that? Let's see if we get a break of the range here in the next 15 minutes. Otherwise, like I said earlier, set some alerts, do some other work, do something else, go outside, walk your dog, make some breakfast, go on a run. Or for the Gen Zs in the chat, do a little doom scrolling. I know you guys love the scroll. Good scroll sesh. Paint a bathroom ray. World's largest bathroom. Answer emails, Pat. Yeah, there we go. Mike gave it all back, forcing setups. Yeah, that's common issue. If you struggle with overtrading, set a daily goal. Once you hit that threshold, just call it a day. Yeah, Pat, that's what I was saying earlier. Ironically, that having less available time can actually help your performance. Yeah, Benny had the right idea for sure. Done for the day, Mike. Nice. Enjoy. Enjoy. We should get more action tomorrow with CPI. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But this action right now is, we've talked before on stream about how the summer is usually a bit slower. So summer we're just doing less. We're looking for that spark, those market moving catalysts, CPI, economic data. Right now, trade headlines definitely moving things. And we can see that obviously the action is quite choppy, but also volume confirms what we see within price. This is all below average. All right, 10 more minutes here. 10 more minutes, hard cutoff. Currently still just with the 2 trades. No update. 2 for 2. If that ends up being it today, then all good. All good, all good. Yeah, long only. Long only. About 6 more minutes for this sesh before we call it a day. Yeah, that's right, Mike. It's basically just another way to specialize. Just keep a very narrow focus, which is one of my big trading philosophies. Less is more, narrow focus. Really just knowing exactly what you want to see. Being okay with passing on some opportunities. So hard cutoff in about 4 minutes. Just want to see if with this next 30-minute bar we get a break of at least a new high, maybe a new low. But right now, like we've been discussing, look at this 5-minute RTH chart. This right here is, there's nothing there. Nothing to do there. ES getting into prior day high. It's actually made a new high of day. So it's resolving higher. Yeah, the overnight session looked good, definitely, but that's not all that common. Usually it's quite the opposite. Plus, what time is this move right here? 1 a.m. This one's at 9:30 p.m. Yeah, I'm not going to miss some sleep over that. I'm good. All right, let's see this next 30-minute bar kick off here in a few seconds. Pretty much nothing there. Nothing there. Barcode continues. The pattern is definitely getting a little bit tighter here. What I'm going to do is keep an eye on current session high, which aligns with prior day high. It'll be a primary focus late morning, early afternoon if we do get a move. Like I said, easiest thing to do is just set an alert. Set an alert up through here, then focus on something else so you're not tempted to overtrade or anything. Then, of course, 850 is the major level of interest in this area. So that stays on watch, but primarily we want to see if price can leave the prior day range. If not, I'll be inclined to just stay cash for the rest of the day. 2 for 2 on the morning, both longs versus 850. I think a lot of you were in the second one, so well done there. Hope you guys had a good morning. We'll be back tomorrow with the stream post CPI. For now, we'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank. If you're not in the community, check it out. Free 14-day trial. Otherwise, see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day. Don't overdo it today. Don't overtrade. Don't fight the chop. Take care.